Jeff, how important is Kareem Hunt to the Browns offense?
I mean, I guess he's, well, I don't know. What do we sign him a value? Like 0.5% important. To Ernest Johnson, they signed, they brought him back. We've seen to Ernest Johnson be a very capable backup for the Cleveland Browns. So I would say like Kareem Hunt, really, it's not that big a deal. I like Kareem Hunt. I think that what he does as like the 1A or the 2 option to Nick Chubb is good. He's a good pass catching back. He's great in open field, breaks tackles, but like, this is Nick Chubb. I mean, he's one of the top 5 rushers, in my opinion, between the tackles in the NFL. He's actually been underutilized as a passer. I'd love for Kareem Hunt to leave this team because we could see more Nick Chubb, and they have a capable backup in Ernest Johnson who knows the offense. So I really think this is kind of like a nothing burger for the Browns just as a team. I think where this becomes a big deal is fantasy. Ernest Johnson would become a great best ball pick at the end of your drafts. And then, obviously, Nick Chubb, you'd have to bump him up because the passing usage would be just through the roof. Well, not through the roof, but it would be increased. So this is really more of a fantasy story than a betting story or just like a team story. I think Kareem Hunt being there helps the Browns, but I really don't think they lose much if he goes.
Okay, Pierce, let's say they can't come to an agreement. He just wants to continue to sit out. I mean, what's that do to Chubb's value?
Yeah, it's going to increase. I think he's going to go somewhere. It makes sense to trade him. The Browns are going nowhere. This team's going nowhere. Hunt wants more playing time. He wants to get a better contract. It makes sense for him to leave. It makes sense for them to trade him. But you don't want to say, okay, yes, sir, we're going to trade you. You want to say, no, we're not going to trade you. That's going to increase the volume or the value that they can get out of him. Eventually, he's going to end up somewhere else. Basically, any contender in this league would love to have another tandem running back that Hunt can do. Also, Hunt can catch passes out of the backfield, although he doesn't get as much action as he should, as Jeff mentioned. But he's a very valuable asset. It's just you don't need him. They've got Ernest Johnson, and this team is going nowhere. Eventually, he's going to go somewhere, and that's what Hunt wants. He wants to be able to prove that he's more than just like a 40% back. He could definitely be a number 1 or at least a 50% of the downs type of back somewhere on a contender. It's just you got to act like you don't want to get rid of him, and then eventually someone will come calling and give you the right offer, and he'll end up somewhere else, and then Chubb's value will increase. I could even see the receivers' values increasing, and everything is right in the world of Cleveland. Well, maybe not that far.
Hey, Reed T. Fowler, what do you think the Browns should do here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Jeff's coming at. 0.5%. Like, I think Kareem Hunt is valuable to the Browns, especially when you have a guy who can start anywhere and be a 3-down back at any point, right? It gives you the ability that if Nick Chubb when he goes down, not if, but when, because he's been dealing with injuries throughout his entire career, they're not worried, right? You don't really miss a step with Kareem Hunt. So it's maybe less like perceived, but more actual value with Kareem Hunt because, he's averaged 70 scrimmage yards per game, which is not a lot, but 19 total touchdowns over the last 3 years. That's an average of close to 6.5 touchdowns per season. And that's pretty good for your backup running back, so to speak. So, but I'm with these guys. Like any team would love to have Hunt, right? I mean, right now, I think his base salary is 1.3, the bonus of like $5 million. That's nothing in the NFL. And I think he goes to Jeff's team, the Atlanta Falcons. You take a look at the Falcons right now. They do not have a running back. They have Marcus Mariota, right? But they have Drake London and Kyle Pitts, but no running back. Take him to Atlanta or trade him to Atlanta, maybe get some draft picks. I think he's a perfect fit for a team like that where he could really be that 3-down back. And that's something that you would have to consider, even though Marcus Mariota is a rushing quarterback.